Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to Spillage Studios. We are here with another Slash cast today with one of Patrick's favorite movies.
Yeah, you could say that. I only just have it tattooed on my leg, but
Yeah, but Tusk by Kevin Smith, the iconic director of movies like Yoga Hosers,
in
Clerks.
Mallrats.
Yeah,
Do you see Dogma's getting a new release, like 25-year anniversary release?
no, I did not.
Yeah, they just announced it today. It was not an April Fool's joke,
Oh wow.
but Kevin Smith, probably the most iconic kind of indie director of the 90s and started the whole trend and then kind of transitioned to horror, which is really his first one. Besides, I don't know if you count Red State as like a horror film, but it has Michael Parks too in it.
What has he
That
done
was his
since
like
horror wise? Past Tusk.
he's only done. I mean, I don't even count. It's hard to like argue if Tusk is really like a true like horror movie, but like he did Red State. I don't know if you count Yoga Hosers, but
Yeah,
because technically it
I
was
haven't
part
seen
of like
Yoga
the whole trilogy.
Hosers. So don't spoil me on Yoga
You're not
Hosers.
missing out much.
No, I know. I've heard not good things. That's why I never saw it. But
Yeah, and then technically the third, it's like I forget it's like the True North trilogy or something like that. But it's supposed to be Tusk, Yoga Hosers, and then Moose Jaws. See, I dove deep into like this whole trilogy when it was first announced. Probably the only person that gave a shit at the time.
I do
But
remember.
it's supposed to be Tusk, Yoga Hosers, Moose Trolls. That was the complete trilogy.
I've never seen Moose Jaws either. I never even heard of Moose Jaws.
Oh, that hasn't even come out yet.
Okay.
You're not missing much.
Okay, I was gonna
Yeah,
say, I was like, I
it's
haven't
supposed to
even
be
heard of it.
like it's supposed to be Jaws, but inland with a moose. I don't know how they're planning on doing that. If it's gonna be like half shark, half moose. Apparently, it's still getting made, but
Moose
who
Jaws.
knows?
Sounds interesting. But yeah,
Yeah. So,
you wanna
have
start
you
out
seen Tusk?
what?
Or what was your introduction to it? Because I know I don't think I
You
made you watch it. I made a bunch of my friends watch it, but
you were my introduction to it, most definitely. You definitely were the one
okay.
who
When was the first time you watched it?
probably like 2016. When did the movie come out?
2016. 2014.
Okay. I was gonna say, yeah, I think it was around 2016 because you introduced me to it. And then I watched it, and of course, this movie follows Anthony Kiedis, lead singer of the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Uh, dude, I don't know why he just to me looks like Anthony Kiedis.
I honestly that's a take I did not expect. I'd never heard that one before, but Justin Long will take that.
Yeah, Anthony Kiedis and Sora both have a podcast together.
The Sixth Sense.
Yeah, dude, I still see him as Sora. I don't know, like I don't. I guess when I see him, I just think of Sora. Even though like Six Sense is a great movie, I just think of Sora because I like grew up as a Kingdom Hearts kid, and like his voice is
I
so
think
iconic as Sora.
yeah, there's only two movies like if I think of like Haley Joel Osment, I think of Tusk and then Sixth Sense.
I
Like
don't know
I
if I
can't think
I
of
don't know
any
if I
other
think of
movie.
him in Tusk because he's honestly almost barely in this movie. I feel like
Really?
I
That's
feel
one of
like
the first one. I mean,
I feel
of
like
course I've
there's
seen it like 100 times. So,
yeah I feel like he's
but
in there
other
like
than that,
four
like,
little stretches though. I feel like it's like um the beginning you get him and then you get him at that point where you like find out that he's trying to get with Justin Long's girl or Wallace's girl, and then when
yeah.
they get the phone call, and then at the end of the movie when they like rescue him and then see him at the zoo.
Fun fact, right before like we record this, I made a tweet. It was like a long shot, but I tweeted to Genesis Rodriguez, who plays like Genesis or not Justin Long's girlfriend in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I tweeted if she wants to come on the podcast, and we never got a response, but
Well, not yet.
not yet. We might get her on this episode.
Yeah, that'd be insane. Just randomly, like a fucking Discord pops up. That'd be insane.
With Kevin Smith. I mean, Kevin Smith, I feel like definitely be down. He's for the people, so
Yeah,
he's always popping on random podcasts.
it's interesting watching him because I didn't know what is their name. they're like a review channel I used to watch years ago. I don't really watch them anymore. They do like a lot of like Marvel, DC kind of stuff. Um, God damn, dude, what is their name? I want to accidentally play a video of a dude drinking only protein shakes for a week. Shout out, Killdozer, the guy, dude. But
It's not
yeah,
BuzzFeed reviews, is it?
what?
BuzzFeed reviews.
No. God damn it, dude. What the hell? What the hell are they called? I watched it pretty recently. They were doing like, um, shit, dude. I'm probably gonna like. I'm just fucking slowing the show down a bit. But whatever. Basically like an old review channel. I guess they had like a comic book event at some point, and then it was Kevin Smith, Robert Kirkman, and Rob Liefeld all talking, and it was pretty cool to see him just like Kevin Smith nerd out into comics a little bit because I feel like he's a pretty modest guy.
Yeah.
I like,
Well, we didn't get a Silent Bob cameo in this one, which I
yeah, that's
just
true.
realized. I
It's
feel like
true.
he at least has one like Silent Bob cameo in all of his films. And now apparently Silent Bob's coming to Call of Duty too. So,
Oh hell yeah! I didn't know Silent Bob was that
so
popular. I don't know. Maybe this is
apparently,
bad to
I mean, he
say,
doesn't.
but Jay and Silent Bob always remind me of like a weird knockoff of Bill and Ted.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like they're very like. I shouldn't say like I'm not a fan of them, but like I don't think they're as iconic as like a lot of people like make them out to be. And that
Yeah,
sounds bad because like I'm as big as a fan, but like when I think of like any Kevin Smith movie, I don't think of Jay and Silent Bob on like some people do.
yeah,
But like I think of like I don't know, I think more of like the movies and like the character. I feel like if you just say like Kevin Smith to like just some random guy in the street, you'll say, "Oh, that's Silent Bob." Like I don't know, I've never associated myself with like
I
the
also
two
find that like those
characters.
movies like I don't care for his comedy stuff as much.
Yeah. Well, I'm the same way. I'm not like a big Jalen Silent Bob like the two movies. Like I what is it? Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back and then the reboot. I
Yeah,
think those are like his two like weakest movies.
yeah. I don't know. I just don't. And Kevin Smith's like somebody I'm weird about because I think I like him as like a person himself, but I've never like found any of his music to be or not music is that sorry, it's not what I was trying to say. Any of his like stuff like ultra compelling that I've read so far, like um I don't know, his like comics always seem like weird and almost obscure. Like even though he's like a huge comic nerd, he almost seems like he's not in the comic sphere at all, really. But he's kind of like in there a little
Yeah.
bit just because he had the show
Well,
about his comic
I think
shop.
he's really like he's the first person to like make comics cool, if that makes sense. Like before Kevin Smith, like there was really like comics were just like they weren't like the uncool thing to do, but like no one gave a shit. And then when he started getting into like podcasting and stuff and like opening up his shops and then actually like putting it out there that like comics are cool, he kind of started the whole trend.
Yeah,
Really like you can honestly thank most of the, like the comic trends today. I think he was a big part of that.
yeah. I mean, I definitely think he helped keep comic book stores alive in like the early 2000s when it was kind of like, I guess it was stepping up. Like the 90s was really like a bad time for comics, of course.
Yeah. And I mean, eventually someone was going to do it, but like he was the first one to really go out of his way to do it. But I mean, it was kind of cool that he did it in the 90s versus, you know, someone in the 2000s maybe getting like comics mainstream.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a weird time, but you know, but yeah, I guess we should talk about the movie. I know we've been ranting about
Yeah.
comics for we were talking about comics for like 30 minutes before the show started. That's probably why. Um,
We'll just cut that part out.
what?
The comic part.
No, we'll keep it in. People like hearing us rant, dude. Come on.
Yeah.
But yeah, back to the movie. Um, Of course,
Tusk, 2014, Kevin Smith.
yes. Of course, this movie follows the story of a kind of like honestly like a pre trend thing too. For if you want to say he's like the one part of the like big trend on comics, um, on the podcasting trend. I think
Yeah,
the
so actually, I mean, I can break down the whole lore for you.
yeah, break it down.
Um,
Go nerd out on this.
Pretty much I'll break down the process of how Tusk was made. So it was on a podcast, the Fat Man Beyond podcast. I don't know if it was that one or a different one because he has a bunch of them. So correct me if I'm wrong with that, but it was one of his podcasts, and someone sent in like a story was saying like about this guy like turning into a walrus, and eventually Kevin Smith was like joking. He was like, "Oh, I should make this into a movie." So he put it on Twitter. He said either walrus yes or walrus no, a bunch of walrus yes, and then he decided to go make this a movie. So it's like half based. That's why he added like the whole like podcaster thing because it's like half based on really him, I guess. And it was like his also his like comeback movie because at this point he was like retired and like done with movies, but he I guess like made the switch and just said, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna go make whatever I want now." So
Yeah, and I guess
which I was also one of A24's like first movies I can really think of too, which is kind of funny.
it kind of seems to almost have like revitalized the like I guess his movie stuff because I feel like I don't like you kind of have like a period where it's like a lot less activity from him in a sense. And maybe he was writing comics. I don't know
Yeah,
when
like
he like getting back to comics. I don't know when he was like writing comics like the most. Like when he was writing, I guess it would have been about
pro-
around that
probably
era.
like 90s, yeah, 90s, early 2000s. I don't know if it was the 90s, but definitely early 2000s.
Yeah. So it's kind of interesting. Um,
And then he also had that one show, Comic Book Men.
yeah,
I haven't watched it, but
that's what I
that
was
was probably
thinking
like
more.
around the same time.
Cause comic book man, I think that was on when I was like a kid watching like Pawn Stars and shit like that. Like when I was a kid, just fucking around watching Pawn Stars when I was like 10,
Yeah.
8. So it was probably on in like the late 2000s. So that's why
You
I
know
was
what's kind
thinking
of
like,
funny about this? It's kind of funny like about this movie too. Like there's so many like stars that like started in this movie that are now like popular today.
yeah,
Lily
Lily,
Rose Depp,
yep,
Johnny Depp breakout role.
it's true, dude.
Haley Joel Osment.
I feel like Joel is like such a weird one too because he kind of popped up anywhere. This I was gonna say this before. Haley Joel Osment, dude. I don't know, like it's kind of ingrained in my brain now under under the boys because he's. I mean, he played like a small role in there. I'm pretty sure he just got murdered off screen, but or on screen, not
I
murder
honestly,
off.
I stopped. That's a spoiler, but I haven't seen like any of the new Boys episodes, so
I think that was like
I didn't
two
even know he was
seasons
even in
ago.
it. Yeah,
So
yeah, I stopped at like three, so
season 3, we're only on season 4.
yeah. Or no, I saw season one and season two.
Yeah, I
Like
think
I haven't seen season three, I should say,
maybe he was in season 3.
or
I thought it
four.
was in season 2, but I could be wrong. That like some of the shows now that take so long to come out, it fucking it's so hard to keep track of that kind of stuff nowadays. I feel like almost, but um, damn, dude, I did not.
Yeah. So for the critic score, I was looking at it. It's 45% on Rotten Tomatoes, and I was like thinking about this because I was like watching like some interviews and stuff, like how he was like kind of like pissed off that he made it, but then like years later, like people were like, I actually kind of like this movie." I think I was one of those few people that had like again, it was like what 44% Rotten Tomatoes. I was if I was a critic, I would definitely be in that category. But why do you think it just like got so much hate? Because it's like so different from all of his other movies, or like again, it's like one of the early like A24 movies too. Like, do you agree with that critic score? Do you think it could have been
I
something else, or do you think like what do you think? What's your opinion on it?
I think the big problem with this movie is it came from the time of which I think is really what this movie almost reminisces the most with, is almost a comedy version of Human Centipede. Um,
Yeah, it just came out at the wrong time too,
yeah, like you
because
came
that's
out like
around the same time.
yeah, and Human Centipede, of course, the first one got big buzz, and everything else was shattered on. I mean, the first one is shit on too. It's not like that was like good, but it just got a lot of buzz. So I think probably a lot of people took it as like he's just trying to profit off of this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think the problem is like I don't think audiences like body horror that much, especially at this time too,
It depends though, because you have
because
something like The Substance come out and it's winning
yeah,
Grammys.
but that's like 10 years later.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think. Like, you
Because
still
the
had
only one
stuff
I
though,
can think
like
of is The Fly.
yeah, The Fly, of course, is popular. I'm trying to think of like
And this movie kind of reminds me of The Fly, like the more I think about it. I mean, not in like this, The Fly's way better done in like every aspect, but like it kind of reminds me of like a Cronenberg movie.
yeah, I mean, it has just like such weird. The special effects are like, or like the practical effects are weird in it. His whole like stitched up thing gives you like Chucky vibes, like late Chucky
Yeah.
vibes. Um, I don't. It's such like a weird movie that has like so much reminiscing of other things. And I don't know if people understood like probably how much of a satire it was supposed to be. And I feel like that's so much
Yeah,
thing
I
with
think a
like,
lot of people.
I think it's also a problem too with it. Maybe just because it was like a satire, that's also kind of the era of the death of satire. That's when you stop getting scary movie and shoot, like there's like that, another teenage movie, or what the fuck was it called? There's like the superhero one that came out with Drake Bell in it, and you just had like all those movies that came out that were like um just basically those rip off movies with like this B list actors that were all,
Hmm.
whatever movies. I think people took that, could have taken this movie as one of those too, you know what I mean? Whether
Yeah,
it
I
be
think
or not, like I think this is more well done than a lot of those movies. Not saying I scary movie,
oh
of
yeah.
course I love scary movie. Such a
Yeah, but I
classic.
think that there's like there's like different levels of like satire you can go to. Like this was definitely not scary. It definitely was satire, but not like scary movie satire by
Yeah. I think
by
it
any
almost
means.
it almost takes itself too seriously that it like maybe rubs off on people that it's not that comedy. You know what I mean? Like it's almost like branches like the line of right down the middle, where it's like you had to take this as like a movie that's a serious movie with comedy bits in it, like almost like a Marvel movie, but like less,
Yeah.
less
Well, I
big
think the
budget
issue like a
clowny.
lot of people have with this, and like a lot of the things I hear too, it's like it's and you have to like slow burn movies, but this is like a slow burn movie. It's like 20-minute talking scenes at a time. It pretty much is like broken down into like the first act, and then it's like a 20-minute long dialogue scene with Michael Parks and Justin Long.
Yeah, and they're
And
talking about a
then you
whale
have
doc
like
for 10 minutes.
yeah. And then you have like that intermission with the affair, and then him turning in like training as a walrus, which I think like the obviously like that's where most people tune into. And then you have like another third act, whatever, however long scene where they go see Johnny Depp that goes on for like 30 minutes or whatever it is. So yeah, if you think about it, it's like not a lot that goes on in this movie besides like, those three main parts.
And you don't get a lot of actual like pure body horror in this movie, I feel like.
You don't. It's very brief. He pretty much, like I said, it's like the first half is like just all dialogue, and the people that like Kevin Smith are gonna like it, or just like just weird shit are gonna like it. But if you're just like one of those, like I need, gore and walrus, then you're
Yeah,
only gonna get like 10 minutes of that.
yeah, I do think it's kind of a weird movie in that sense too. That it's like almost like a body horror movie without like almost without body horror, if you know what I mean. Like it doesn't have any like the like weird fleshy bits that like Cronenberg movies have. It's just like
Yeah,
you see him get sewn together, his arm sewn to his body. Um, you see his like leg get chopped off, and then you get to see him like basically fully suited up. Which I don't know if that's the right way to say that, but
suited. I mean, it looks like it. I know what they were going for, but it does look like a. I think it looks great, but it definitely is like very like Godzilla 1954
yeah,
um
it's definitely
suit level.
yeah, it's very very cheesy, but it's like great in that sense. You know what I mean?
Also,
It's like uh, sorry for that little cut there. Just some technical difficulties. Um, but yeah, it's kind of tough to say. Like, I don't know. It's just like not body horror enough to be a body horror movie, and not almost not horror enough to be. It doesn't even really feel like a horror movie at certain points.
yeah,
And
that's how I feel too. Like it's almost. I mean, it's definitely like horror. It's definitely like a subcategory of horror, whether it's like horror comedy. But it's like if you don't Kevin Smith's like comedies are like when he's not trying to be funny. It's like it's very like it's difficult to like put honestly what genre this type of movie is.
yeah, it's almost like
One of a kind.
yeah, there's really no movie like it. Because like something like I guess you could say the later Human Centipedes when they get into like more comedy aspects of it, but it's like still it's like uh, and not even like I don't think those movies are like full comedy. They're just kind of like gross out horror for no reason. That's not entertaining at all. And this I think has some redeeming
Yeah,
qualities to it. Whether you like it or not, like
yeah. I mean, it's
I think it's a fun movie. Like I think it's fun and dumb. I wouldn't go.
just so ridiculous that like
Yeah,
it's so ridiculous. Like, I'm almost like I'm glad that it's made because like you're never gonna no one's ever gonna come up with an idea like this
yeah, and
or even have like the balls to even like make something like this too.
like there's some parts like the ending is so random, like the fucking him just being at the fucking like park, and it's like,
Yeah, just eating the
I love
fish.
you. It's like, oh, you thought there was gonna be a satisfying ending, like, oh, they're gonna like get him out of this. No, they just throw him in a fucking zoo.
Yeah, it's also like terrifying too. Like like it's not like, regular like ghost horror movie or something like that where like it scares you, but it's like shit like, if I were a podcaster and like trying to get like a cool story, even if you're like a news person trying to get a cool story, like and he like traps you and makes you into like an animal, like pretty terrifying.
Yeah, I do think it's funny though. Like he just is like a piece of shit the whole movie, and it's like the end of it is like, oh my gosh, you weren't that bad of a guy. It's one of those movies that like tries to
Yeah.
redeem a terrible person, but like he doesn't actually like do anything to redeem himself at all. He just kills a dude.
I, yeah, I think that's also like Kevin Smith's like like you can tell it's definitely his like personality in this movie. Like he did not give a shit whatever he wrote. He just wanted
Yeah,
to make something like just so ridiculous and because even if you like look at his early stuff, he definitely like cares a lot about his characters like Jersey Girl, Chasing Amy. Like those movies are so much different compared
yeah,
to Tusk and Yoga Hosers. It's like vastly different.
yeah. It probably is
Chasing Amy
partially
is
due
like
to him just coming back to like make whatever the fuck movies now. Like if you were saying he's just was trying to get, wasn't really interested in making movies, and then made this, and it's just like,
yeah, I think he was just doing it for fun. I mean, he has the money and time too, so he was just like,
yeah,
why not? That's like the new era of Kevin Smith that we've gotten,
yeah.
which is fine. I
He's
mean,
almost like one of the most inactive like people who just sticks around.
yeah, because he just made the 430 movie that
Mm,
just came out,
yeah,
and I liked it a lot. It was just very just ridiculous and simple.
I did
It was
not see
filmed
it,
at his own movie theater.
so maybe I'll have to check that out. Is it what
Yeah,
like genre is it?
comedy. It's like an '80s throwback comedy.
Okay, interesting.
Um, yeah, it's just like a group of friends. It's kind of like Dazed and Confused a little bit. It's like a group of friends takes place in one night, and then he's like asked out his crush to a movie theater. And it's just like a chain of events.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Interesting. So
that's his new movie.
since this is a trilogy, and I know I haven't seen Yoga Hosers. Uh,
Yeah,
what the
you're
hell
not
is
missing
Yoga
out
Hosers
much.
even? What even happens in that movie?
Well, it's kind of that's another crazy one because Austin Butler's in that movie.
Weird. I didn't even know he
Who's
was in
now
that
like
movie.
another. Yeah,
Big star.
that's kind of crazy though. Like Kevin Smith, like he got Tusk and Yogas just to have like all these stars that are like now popular, like A-list actors now,
Yeah,
especially Austin Butler.
yeah, it's wild. And even just having Johnny Depp in that movie is kind of crazy too. To have
Yeah,
him
because
in,
it's technically, I think it's Lily Rose's first movie role,
that wouldn't surprise me.
and then
Is it Kevin
and
Smith's
then he
daughter's
has
first
his
role?
yeah,
Okay, so they
and then
both
she
got
was later on in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
yeah, yeah. There's it's cool seeing some of these just like I mean I guess they're like nepo babies, so it's kind of like a weird thing to say like they're getting chances because like no
Yeah,
matter what they're gonna have a higher chance than other people. But it's cool seeing people become bigger after this kind of stuff.
yeah.
You know, even if Austin Butler's
That's why I
in
think it's.
Yoga Hosers, it's kind of impressive
I
because
think that's one of crazy like that. I think about it like Austin Butler, Lily Rose, both in the same in a movie called Yoga Hosers.
yeah, because
That's
Austin
kind of
Butler, what
crazy.
before this was in fucking Austin and Alley or something like that, right? What's Austin Butler in?
So,
Like he was on a Disney Channel thing, or was he in Zoe 101? Is that what I'm
honestly,
thinking of?
I have no idea.
I was just maybe I just be thinking of Austin and Alley just because it's fucking yeah Zoe 101. Yeah, that's what he started in. So it's pretty crazy to go to that to like Doom Part Two where he Huge and Elvis.
Yeah,
So seeing these like kind of almost probably almost forgotten about actors at some points because you get to that point. See who was receiving on his fucking. I don't think it's popping up on his thing now. See what years Yoga Hosers come out?
being like 2016.
Yeah, so that's like pretty. Oh, Yoga Hosers, yeah, 2016. Okay, it did pop up, but yeah, he wasn't really in a lot of like anything before that came out. Like since he was like a child actor, so you kind of see probably that took effect afterwards. Even if it's just like Quentin Tarantino, I don't know if he's like a fan of something like
Yeah,
Clerks. I could imagine so. Like him just being a fan of something like Kevin Smith and just being like such a movie buff that it's oh, this guy was in this movie. He looked cool. Like that could have been literally the reason that he got in there.
yeah. I think we should have gotten Kevin Smith's Nick Cage Superman.
Yeah, that would have been awesome. I hate that they
Probably the
added.
most iconic.
I hate
That
that
was
they.
probably the most like iconic canceled movie.
Yeah, I hate
It's
that
gotta
they
be.
made him CGI in the Flash movie. I don't know if you've seen
Who?
the Flash movie.
Who's in the Flash movie?
Nicolas Cage is Superman.
No, he's not.
Yeah,
Is he actually?
yeah, yeah. He has like a little cameo, but they CGI'd him in. Like he
Yeah.
went there to like he filmed everything, but then they just used CGI to put him in. And that movie's like a CGI slogfest. It looks terrible.
Yeah, I just have a hard time supporting anything Ezra Miller, so I don't
Yeah, I
know.
mean, I enjoyed the movie personally. Like whether it's objectively good or not, like I had fun with it. I thought it was just a fun movie. And if you don't think about like the other stuff that's happening, And it kind
Yeah,
of sucks. There's no Reverse Flash or anything in the movie,
yeah.
but
I feel like that's like the most forgotten about DC movie.
probably. I mean, it was like hell to produce, so.
Yeah,
And I feel bad because it's
due to
not
one
like
person.
even like James Gunn can really talk shit about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because it's like, oh, this is my one of my first movies coming out under this, and it's,
I thought technically Suicide Squad was
Suicide was his
right.
direction, but it wasn't his movie. Like it didn't come out when he was the CEO of DC.
Yeah,
He only became CEO
my
like last year or 2023, late 2023, maybe. And I think Flash came out. When did the Flash
that's
come
what
out?
he should get. Like James Gunn should just get like Kevin Smith and like all like the directors and like actors that like are just like comic book buffs and like have them just like direct movies. Like have Kevin Smith direct a movie.
It must have been early 2023 he became CEO because yeah, the Flash came out in 2023. So
Yeah.
also with one of the worst running animations of any character ever, dude. That shit's so terrible. He like
Was Michael Keaton like the main? Was he like the main Batman in that movie?
yeah, yeah, he is. Yeah, and it's pretty. His stuff is super cool. They go to like a Russian missile silo and like fight Russians and shit, or fight Soviets, I guess.
Like how cool would that be? Because you know, Tim Burton just made like a Beetlejuice sequel. Like how cool would it be if like Tim Burton came back to do like another Batman sequel,
Yeah, it'd be
like
pretty
legacy
interesting.
sequel? I feel
Uh,
like he could do something cool.
yeah, I mean, I like those movies. Well, I like the first one. The second one's a
I
little
love. This is a hot take, but like I love the that trilogy.
the trilogy. There's only two movies he
Okay.
did. He only
No,
did
like
Batman and
the
Batman Returns.
I shouldn't say like the trilogy, but like the Batman. I don't know what would you call it. The
Duology.
Batman legacy movies,
Yeah, but
duology,
yeah,
Batman Forever,
I mean, you could probably just say, yeah, whatever the movies he directed that were Batman, I enjoy.
Returns, Returns in '89.
Yeah, and those movies are fun. And I mean, who doesn't love Joker in those movies? Batman's great. Uh,
I
I don't.
mean, better than I'm not gonna shit on Joaquin Phoenix, but like I'm sorry, but Joker 2019 is like it was one of the worst movies. I cannot get behind it at all.
I don't know. I
I'm
enjoy that
not a
movie,
Joker
but
fan.
I enjoy it as a one shot thing that's like by itself. And I'll never see Joker 2, probably. Even though Quentin Tarantino loves that movie.
You know, it's kind of weird. Like I have some like people that have seen it, and they said they like it a lot. Like they put high praise towards it.
Yeah, I think it's a really like split the fan base kind of movie, you know what I mean? Like having an opera and
Yeah,
then it be like, oh, this guy's not even the Joker. Kind of bait and switch on you. That's kind of like
yeah,
a weird turn of events.
yeah. Because part of me feels like they just like threw on like the Joker tagline just to like I don't know, get a profit off of it because it
Mm,
really has. It was never like any Joker that I kind of know.
yeah.
Which not saying like it has to be like based. It's got to be like strictly based off the comics. No, it doesn't. But like it was just like I don't know. I just did not like it at all.
Yeah. And I guess as being someone who's a not big fan of the comic, I know this might be something we have to debate eventually. Um,
Yeah, because see, I'm as diehard as the Killing Joke fan as you can get. Like that's my Joker.
yeah, and I love the origin in that book. I just don't like almost anything else about the book. And I'm a big Alan Moore fan, of course. There you go. There
Yeah,
she is. Killing Joke, which I only own. I sold my last copy of it actually, just because I don't like that book that much. Um, but I got it because in this like big one bad day uh, set of books, which is actually just a bunch of books based on like what happened basically if everybody got their Killing Joke story, like every main villain in his you know in his villains catalog for Batman. So it's kind of interesting to see like something great like that, and then you get kind of a weird. I don't know. It's kind of a mix because it like almost takes part of that and just twists it into a different way. So I could see if you're like a huge
Yeah,
fan of Killing Joke, you wouldn't be a fan of that.
I just felt like Todd Phillips had like, I mean, he had a good story to tell, but I just felt like he's like, oh shit, like I want people to like watch the story, so I'm just gonna have like the tagline Joker on it to it. Like it just felt like it was like a good movie, but like I just did not like how I just felt like they just threw on like the Joker tagline and called him the Joker. I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
I just felt like it was just like a cool story, but like,
Yeah, I'm also not the biggest fan of making
yeah,
like insane characters who have like no good qualities about them into good guys.
yeah,
Like it's kind of a weird trend that's been going on to like make terrible. I mean, of course you see it a lot in fucking Sony's like universe of comic movies, but
yeah. Which I can't say I'm that big of a fan of.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just a weird. Oh yeah, I don't think anybody's really a big fan. I mean, I like the first Venom movie for what it is, but
Yeah, I don't think you have any Craven the Hunter fans.
yeah, I'm not dying for Kraven the Hunter. And like the weird, I guess they use like CGI on this girl's mouth in those movies, which is really weird. Which is one thing I actually will say about this because we're talking about body horror and stuff like that. I do think it's cool that Tusk uses um, that they don't use CGI for like anything in this movie. I don't think he used CGI at all in
Yeah,
the movies, really.
no, I mean, I don't think CGI. You can.
Well, okay, these
I'm
CGI when
kind of
the
glad
kid cuts
too
off his
because
leg.
yeah. Besides that, but like CGI for like this movie would just look ridiculous. Like no matter how good it looks, it would just look
Yeah,
absolutely ridiculous. And I don't know. I don't think the Human Centipede like uses CGI or anything,
yeah. I'm trying to think.
right?
Like, I guess the other big horror, body horror movie to come out this time would be, and I don't know if I consider body horror, The Thing, of course. We got the
Yeah.
other thing around this time, which fucked up super hard by using CGI and made everything look
Yep.
terrible. It makes the
Yeah.
movie almost unwatchable, even
'Cause-
though like that cast is super good. The story's not bad or anything. It's almost like the movie's just completely ruined by the fact that he used CGI. And I think that's like the
yeah.
consensus on that whole movie. It's like it's not a terrible
That's
movie.
what
It's just bad CGI.
it's what kind of like bothers me about like the substance a little. Not bothers me about the substance, but like Tusk is like a lot like the substance in a way. I don't know if you've seen it at all.
I've not. I just know it's got really high praise. I
I
think it's
recommend.
finally
Yeah.
on something
It,
that I can watch it on.
yeah. Yeah. That's my favorite. Probably my favorite movie this year by far.
You mean last year?
Um. Yeah. Last year.
Yeah.
And it was like one of those I had like low expectations going in, or just like heard it was good. Didn't really think much, and I loved it even more. It's like pretty much like the modern day like Fly,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a lot like the design. I won't spoil it. Is like a lot like the walrus from Tusk.
Interesting.
At
Yeah,
least I think
I need to
that's my
see.
comparison.
There's so many movies because I know last year was such a big horror movie year, and I'm so behind on all kind of media unless it's comics. Then I'm pretty well doing pretty well in keeping up with comics. I find it hard sometimes just like sit down and watch a movie and like get a lot of horror stuff, especially because like a lot of directors I really like rarely release movies. Like I don't know,
Yeah. Well, are you a fan of Talk to Me?
I have not seen it.
Uh, there's a bunch of A24 movies coming out this year. It's Talk to Me. They're making another movie, not Talk to Me, but like a different movie by the same directors. The Dave Franco body horror movies comes out soon. It's
Mm-hmm.
another A24 movie. Um, but yeah, those are like the two big ones.
Yeah, I guess my era of like horror stuff is like a lot of people are just done making movies, so it doesn't like help at all. Because like you're never gonna get a John Carpenter movie again. Guillermo del Toro like
Yeah,
very rarely releases films. Like it's very
yeah, I think his
hard.
last movie was Shape of Water, which is amazing. But
No, his last movie
what
was
else?
the one about the kid in the woods with the deer monster.
No, he didn't direct that one.
Did he write it?
I think he was like a writer and producer.
Okay, yeah, but yeah, I'm trying to think actually what his last movie is then.
Pretty
Um,
sure it was Shape of Water.
oh, Pinocchio,
Oh,
which I guess is kind of a weird one because it's animated. Uh,
I mean, at least he's making Frankenstein.
yeah, that's true. I am pretty hyped about that. Yeah, Antlers was Antlers not. What did he do on Antler? Oh, he's just a producer on it. 'Cause I remember
Yeah.
that movie being big on like saying Guillermo del Toro was in it, so it's like a big part of the thing. Was that movie good at
I
all?
mean,
Did
that's
you
what they
see
do for like,
Antlers?
yeah,
Yeah, it was
I don't
decent.
mind it.
Just is it worth watching if you're like
I'll say like the setting in the movie is more creepy than the actual story.
okay, interesting.
Like it's in the woods type of atmosphere,
Yeah,
creepy town. But like besides that, it's kind of overrated.
I know it's kind of off topic, but I know there's actually some Crystal Lake news. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, or not Daphne, Velma is playing Pamela Voorhees.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty interesting, and I'm pretty hyped for that. I know, um, I I know I've talked to you about this a little bit, but of course, the people who worked on Hannibal are supposed to be working on. I don't know if it's still happening that way, but I am
Yeah,
super.
it's an A24 series, right?
Yeah, I think it's going to Peacock.
Or Peacock, yeah.
Well, it is A24, but I think it is going to Peacock. Um,
Yeah, I definitely would like to do like we should definitely should do like a ranking of all the movies.
because Peacock they also did Chucky, didn't they?
No, Sci-Fi did
Oh,
Chucky.
Chucky. Okay, I just got
Yeah.
put on Peacock or something.
Yeah, it's on like Peacock streaming,
Or
I
are you
think.
sure like the last season wasn't by Peacock?
No, Sci-Fi.
Okay.
Because Sci-Fi is the channel that canceled it.
I do think it's kind of cool that we're getting like kind of these. It almost feels like the revitalization of the '80s,
Yeah,
like right
because the
now.
Haddonfield TV series is coming out.
Yeah, and then you had even something as simple as like Cobra Kai coming back. I know that came back like pretty early, and it was like a YouTube, whatever their fucking original service was. Maybe it was YouTube
Oh
Premium.
yeah, I think that probably was like the first
And dude, I was like,
like
this show
YouTube
looks
direct series.
fucking terrible, dude. When I first
Yeah,
saw the trailer, and I was like,
I was the same exact way. I didn't watch the first two seasons because I thought it was like a joke
yeah, and
until
then
someone like told me it's like, yo, this show's like actually pretty good, and I watched it, and then yeah,
how do you
I love
feel
it
about
now.
this new the new one, the new movie coming out?
Oh, I think it looked cool.
I'm just
The trailer looked good.
yeah, I'm just mad that at least so far that Johnny Lawrence isn't in it.
Yeah, I don't think it follows like the Cobra Kai series,
I think it does though.
which kind of sucks.
I think it's
No,
in.
you'll see. No, watch because I know you haven't seen the new season yet,
I've
but
watched most of it. Well, I've watched the first part. I know there's three parts, so I started
yeah.
watching the second part. So
Would so you think it follows it? I don't see how like it fits in.
is like unless something crazy
Not to
happens
go
to
into
Daniel. Like
spoilers.
I haven't seen the last two parts, so
Yeah, I think after you'll probably change your mind after you see part two a little bit.
okay. Like in the like tournament part.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I guess I'll have to see because kind of yeah. I don't want to spoil myself on it, so I'll watch it and I'll try and watch it, and maybe we can eventually do a series review on it or
Yeah.
something like that.
But yeah, I
Even
kind of agree. I think the Crystal Lake series is probably like my most anticipated.
even Transformers One too.
Um,
That's another one that like came
I
back
haven't
and went.
seen that yet.
Apparently, it's great, and it went back to like more of the traditional style of.
That's
Uh,
what I heard too. Like a lot of people were like pissed when it first came out because they thought it was like a straight comedy, but like the people that I've seen, like the reviewers that I've seen, like watch it said apparently like it's amazing. So
yeah, something I need to watch eventually because I've gave
yeah,
up on Transformers, of course, after Michael Bay switched to Mark Wahlberg. Um, even I mean, to be fair, Dark of the Moon's okay. It's an okay movie. I
uh,
don't. I think
speaking of
Revenge of the Fallen's terrible, but
speaking of Kevin Smith in '80s revitalations, or I think it came out in the '80s, maybe '90s. I don't even know. Kevin Smith's He-Man.
what he's making it. Oh yes, yeah, I did actually see some of the stuff. I heard there's
Or technically, it's from like the early 2000s show that like I grew up watching.
yeah.
I think it's
Well,
He-Man
there's
Revelations or
like an
something like
'80s or
that.
'70s cartoon too of He-Man. That's like the original, like
Yeah,
the. Cause I think He-Man is Masters of the Universe, right?
yeah, Masters of the Universe. I don't know why I said He-Man Revelations.
Um, but yeah, I just don't know how I feel. Isn't fucking Jared Leto playing Skeletor?
I honestly have no clue.
I
I've only
think Jared
watched like
Leto
the
is
first two
playing
episodes.
Skeletor, dude. Dude, he's getting shoved.
Oh, we're
That's
also
another thing we need to talk
getting.
about, dude. The apocalypse of him hopping on '80s products, because he's hopping on Tron too. Tron Rising or
He's
whatever.
in the new Tron movies.
Yeah, I hate
Isn't
Jared
it
Leto.
like Tron Ares or something like that?
Yeah, Tron. I think is what it is.
Yeah, his Joker.
His Joker, his Morbius.
Is a joke.
Morbin time. God damn, dude. What a fucking era we live in. That we have Jared Leto Joker. Fuck, dude.
Jared Leto Joker, and it's kind of it sucks though because he's like he's kind of good though in American Psycho.
Yeah, and he's good in fuck. What is the other movies in?
Oh, Dallas Buyers Club.
Nope. Um fuck, it's like a psychedelic movie.
Um,
Fuck, dude. I'm so bad with names, especially as soon as I go on the fucking podcast, dude. It's fucking so bad when it comes to names. Um, he's in Requiem for a Dream,
uh,
so I don't know. What the hell is this picture? Oh, never mind. I was like, what the fuck does that mean? Okay, never mind. I saw a picture and I was like, this looks so dumb. Uh, but yeah, I don't know how I feel about him being in a Tron movie. Especially like I feel like you have like the perfect arc going with Sam Flynn bringing the girl into the world and like seeing what can happen. Like the
are they
living
still bringing
AI.
back like Jeff Bridges and everyone else?
I don't know if Jeff Bridges is coming back. I know like the kid who plays his son and everything is coming back.
Is Daft Punk still making the soundtrack?
Nope, it's Trent Reznor. Daft Punk's broken up. Daft Punk broke up like
Wow,
2-3 years ago. So
that's a legendary soundtrack.
yeah, it is. I would go and I'll listen to that sometimes. Just listen to the whole fucking soundtrack, dude.
Yeah, it's probably one of the few movies like I like the soundtrack better than the movie.
Yeah, I mean, I love that movie. I fucking think that movie's awesome. I think it's probably one of the best
It's
sci-fi
actually
movies, like reboots,
it's
I
probably
guess.
like if you watch it, like it came out in 2009. Like the CGI and like special effects for like that movie are like way ahead of its time.
Yeah, it still looks great. Mine is like
Honestly, you're
Jeff
gonna make me
Bridges
want.
de-aged, like that looks bad,
Yeah,
but like everything else is amazing. That movie.
yeah. I might have to watch Tron after this.
Yeah, dude, I watched
I haven't
Tron not that
seen.
long
I
ago.
used to have that. I have it on.
Oh, looks like he died. Well, with him dying, I guess that's the end of the episode. Thank you all very much for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.